All right, Brad Rue with Musk Innovations. This video is just a little tip on how to cast soft plastic lures. And I know a lot of you know how, and a lot of you throw a lot of soft plastic, so this probably won't be the video for you necessarily. But I get a lot of people saying to me, this is the 11-inch swim dog, that the Magnum, that their front hook's getting hooked on the leader, or that the bait gets hooked on one of the hooks itself. This also pertains to bulldogs, and we call them dog balls when the bait balls up because it got hooked on itself, like the back of the bait getting hooked on the hook, or again, it getting hooked on the leader. Biggest thing in fishing soft plastics is you want to think about laying that bait out there and making sure it doesn't tumble in the air. When it tumbles in the air is when you're getting the dog balls and the hooks on the front. So here's the best way I found to do it. Just take your rod, you let out like probably 4 or 5 feet of line. And as you notice, this is loading up the tip of my rod. So you want the rod to load up. I grab the base of the rod and the reel, and then I fling it with the rod doing all the work. That way the bait in the air does not tumble at all. The key again is not to let that bait tumble, so you don't want to snap cast it. Basically, you're getting 4 or 5 feet of line out, you're putting it behind you like this, you're letting the rod load up, and you're just letting the rod do all the work. You'll notice when you do that the bait does not tumble in the air. Very, very few tangles, if any. I've literally thrown this swim bait on a 3-day trip the whole time, and maybe hooked up that hook 1 or 2 times throughout the entire trip. But you got to kind of keep your concentration, obviously, and once you start doing it this way, it'll eventually come natural. Again, one more time, 4 or 5 feet of line out, bring it behind you, let the rod load up, go right over your shoulder, whatever shoulder is your throwing shoulder, and lob the bait out there. It goes plenty far. You're letting the rod do all the work, and the bait lays flat in the air and will not get tangled.